Stay right there. Alright, check my fifth gen. So once over on my fifth gen, front to back, top to bottom. Call it a fifth gen build. It's definitely a fifth gen build. Although on paper, this bike is a 2005. But it's a fifth gen motor, it's a 98 motor. Gear driven cams, you'll hear it at idle. You'll hear that it's not VTEC over 6,000 or whatever it is. Got a full Delcovic exhaust. Stock airbox, stock filter. Nothing done to the airbox. That's an R1 tail and an R1 front end. But a VFR tank. I didn't put that dent in there. I'm assuming that's where the stock handlebars are. Got laid over on its right side once and put a dent right there for me, and I picked it up. Fuel pump is a Quantum Fuel Industries. Fuel line is brand new. Teflon line, stainless steel by Mesa Hose with the coupler for a pressure gauge. All the injectors once over, cleaned out. New OEM rubbers top to bottom. New fuel pressure regulator. So this thing's on fire. PGMFI fuel injection, not VTEC. PGMFI. Watch out, Franklin. Let's show him that 7-speed cover. So stock motor, besides piston 13102 MBG 305, slightly bigger than stock. You can tell it's fifth gen in a couple ways. That muffler, the way it sits over the tire. I got me the Hermes feet foot pegs. Love the way these look versus 6th gen. So this clutch isn't stock, it's a Barnett clutch. And you see how the springs are red? They're Scorpion springs. The red springs are the stiffest at 99 PSI. So I got a Barnett clutch with Scorpion springs. Franklin, come here. Come here, come. And I got CBR coils. I don't know if you can see. Coilover plugs. That red wire is my tachometer sensor wire. So my tachometer sensor is on cylinder number 2, which is this one in the V. FZ09 headlight, RC51 oil cooler, Rigid Industries super highs. Got a ST1300 radiator on it. Adds a lot more water, puts the radiator in the front. I got 2 KTM 450 radiator fans on the back on a manual switch. This right here is the hookups for my stock gauge. I made a mount to put it right here if I need it. That's how I've compared what I've done on the gauge I have, but I don't want the stock gauge. It's a suitcase. It's huge. It's huge. You guys know what I'm talking about. So the gauge I got is a Voyager gauge. Trailtech Voyager. I just don't have a sensor light. I don't have a fuel light or a neutral light. But that's cool. I'm alright with that. I do have a voltmeter on a switch. I don't know if you guys can see it. It says 12.9. It's a little too sunny in here for that. It says 12.9. Every sensor, every relay, every fuse on this bike is brand new. I went with the 6th gen frame and subframe to fit the YTZ 14S, the Yuasa YTZ 14S. That's the ST1400's battery, ST1300's battery. It's a sealed Yuasa, higher CCAs, higher amperage. Everything's good about it, and it fits in the 6th gen. It's the same size as the 6th gen battery. I got a 6th gen swing arm. Had no problems fitting that on. I chose a 6th gen swing arm so I could get the integrated brake line. That's the brake line, and it goes in the swing arm and comes out the bottom. Which, speaking of, there's my There's my hookup. That's where it comes out. And this is my brake delinking line. Made by Mesa Hose in Costa Mesa, California. I got 520 gearing, 520 chain with 1543 teeth. That's my tooth count. And I got galfer lines front and back. This is a clutch line, this is a rear brake line. I got two separate lines coming straight from the master, going to each caliper in the front. Jamie Doherty's CBR 929 shock. I also noticed that this rear subframe for the 6th gen probably fits that better because of the reservoir. I don't know if the 5th gen fits this shock as good because it's got a bigger battery. My stator is rewound by Custom Rewind in Birmingham, Alabama. My radiator hoses are 4 VFR uppers. Coupler by temperature sensors. This is my homemade heat shield for the headers. It works. .114 decibel horn. ASV unbreakables. Grips that aren't very grippy, but I think they look awesome. I got a GSXR master cylinder, clutch master. So let's hear it. Oh, choke it a little bit. So I had to put it to half choke right there. Choke off, I sit at about 1,000 RPMs. Got 5th gen rev for you. You guys know on Hondas, to turn it off, you can just push in, right? Slide it over to turn on, push it in to turn off. Not slide it back the other way and start the other side. Slide it to turn on, push in to turn off. So I built this entire motorcycle starting with the motor. I didn't rebuild a bike that already existed. I bought a 5th gen motor, rebuilt it. Put a swing arm on it. Wanted the 6th gen swing arm for the integrated brake line. Then I bought the frame. Bought an 05 frame. And I had to drill the little idle hole. Another way you know it's 5th gen. I drilled that and bought this as a part. Boom. 6th gen didn't have that hole. 6th gen also doesn't have a manual clutch. 98 and 99 has a manual clutch. So that, and that, 5th gen. This is my switch for my radiator fans. Now they're on. And I'm sitting at 107. This is after motor, before radiator. I got the TTO gauge after radiator, before motor. So when I'm moving, obviously there's a little bit bigger difference. I've seen 30 degrees difference once cooled. I've seen 180 to like 134. Seen big differences. I still got stock high, stock low, but I basically just turn on my Rigid Industries. This bulb is a Cyclops bulb, Cyclops H4 bulb. I also have the VFR800 with the MOSFET regulator rectifier, and I have a cooling fan all the time on the regulator rectifier. You won't be able to see it. So you hear 2 fans right now. One of them is the radiator fan, which I'm turning off right now. Oh, and this is that's the one for the regulator rectifier. So of course you got to put your clothes on before you get out, right? Well, if y'all thought I was gonna leave her naked, look at Franklin trying to find the shade. Summer's here in South Florida. Got these made for me. Made for me, number 24. Look at that, repping ASV. Some are stickers, but some aren't. Some are vinyl. You could tell the stickers. You could tell the stickers because they catch. They catch. They catch. But you can also tell the clean. Put their awesomeness. So that's it. 5th Gen VFR. R1 front end. Needs desperately to get done by Jamie Doherty. I think I'll do that in the hurricane season. The rear feels perfect. CBR 929 shock, done by Jamie Doherty. Great job. 6th generation swing arm. 6th generation frame and subframe. Yuasa YTZ14S. VFR800, MOSFET regulator rectifier. My gauge is a Voyager, Trail Check Voyager. GPR stabilizer. Stock brakes. This thing is killer. Alright, peace. Hope you liked it.